Hello, and welcome to this course on the Oxford International Curriculum for English at secondary level. I'm Lizette Martin, and I'm a teacher trainer in the International Professional Development team at Oxford University Press. In this module, we'll be looking at the key features of the English curriculum and how you and your students can use these most effectively. So what will this course cover? Well, we'll be thinking about the overall structure of the English curriculum, its aims, and the methods it uses to deliver those aims. We will explore the advantages of an inquiry-based approach to learning English, looking at how it can engage students and help them feel involved with what they learn and also how they learn. We will explore well-being skills and how they can be woven into the English curriculum, contributing to the overall joy of learning and helping to develop positive, resilient mindset among students. The other major strand woven into the English curriculum is global skills. These skills are vital in preparing students for the wider world beyond school. They will equip students with the functional skills they need in society and the workplace to communicate and collaborate with others and to become responsible global citizens. The final part of this course looks at how to use the accompanying English resources. The Oxford International Curriculum for English follows the same structure as the National Curriculum for English Programmes of Study in the UK, with its focus on three key areas: spoken English, reading, and writing. It aims to foster a love of reading and literature among its students. It gives them a wide variety of texts to read, including fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and drama. Students are given the opportunity to develop their speaking and listening skills so they can discuss and reflect on what they read. They're reminded how to have an effective discussion by taking turns speaking, listening carefully, and building on each other's ideas. Students are also encouraged to take part in role play, drama, and presentations of their work. They will develop their writing skills by using texts that they have read as models, enabling them to learn the key features of different text types. They learn to think about the purpose and audience for their writing and choosing an appropriate tone and style. Before writing starts, most work is discussed and planned. This means that students build up their confidence and knowledge in order to produce their best work. One of the key elements of the English curriculum is vocabulary development. Recent studies have shown how important it is for students to have a rich, varied vocabulary in order to express themselves clearly and precisely. It's also important that students have vocabulary to access other areas of the curriculum and to increase their understanding of the world around them. Oxford University Press has written a series of influential reports with leading language experts highlighting the importance of young people having all the words they need to thrive at home and at school. The reports show how students who lack vocabulary are disadvantaged throughout their schooling and in their lives beyond school. The reports give advice on how this word gap can be closed, showing case studies of some of the strategies that teachers and schools can use. The Oxford International Curriculum for English encourages students to take an interest in words, nurturing their curiosity about their meaning, where they come from, and their links to other words. When reading, talk about unfamiliar words and encourage students to try and work out the meaning from the context before checking a glossary or a dictionary. The three main areas of learning, spoken English, reading, and writing, are broken down in the curriculum into sets of learning objectives for each year group. The skills behind these learning outcomes are revisited each year, so they're revised, consolidated, and built upon. This spiral development means that the skills are embedded thoroughly at each stage so that children who've missed any learning or haven't fully grasped the skills taught previously can catch up with their peers. The learning outcomes are linked so that children may see the language features used in the text that they read. Then they have opportunities to talk about them, and then they use them in their own writing. Many outcomes don't just focus on language and literacy skills, they also include skills to help students to check and assess their work. They encourage students to take responsibility for their learning, to identify what they can do well and what needs further work. Here's a snapshot of the curriculum learning outcomes for an aspect of spoken English, listening and responding appropriately for years 7, 8 and 9. The English curriculum provides a scheme of work to help teachers plan how to cover all the learning outcomes for each year group. These schemes of work suggest how the learning outcomes can be covered during the lessons each week or each term and can be seen as a week-by-week overview. This shows the topics covered each week of the term. These topics have all been carefully chosen to give students the opportunity to fulfil all the necessary learning outcomes. The schemes of work are also available in a lesson-by-lesson format. The lesson overviews will help you to plan effectively. Each overview supports you in delivery of a lesson, mapping out the learning outcomes covered and a summary of the lesson, pages to refer to in the recommended resources and suggested activities. The lesson overviews also highlight opportunities to link to the joy of learning, showing you how to integrate global skills, well-being and sustainability into English teaching and learning. So just to summarise, the structure of the Oxford International Curriculum for English has the learning outcomes mapped out in the curriculum overview within the subject guide for English. The schemes of work by lesson and by week, the lesson overviews, the in-class resources, and finally the assessment. There is full assessment for formal and informal monitoring of outcomes. This comes in the form of a framework, and in that framework it describes 3 levels of attainment for each learning outcome, dividing it into developing, secure and extending. Teachers can use these descriptors to assess students' level of attainment. Assessment is woven throughout the curriculum, ranging from an informal self-assessment and peer assessment during lessons, to end-of-unit assessments and formal end-of-year assessments. Assessment is ongoing, ensuring the students are aware of their developing skills and highlighting any areas of learning that need more practice.